reduce from, what is it, 5.742, this is 0.744. What you got? 4.998. Again on 4.998, you make a calculation of 12.95%. 0.647. Again on 0.647, you multiply with 12.95%. What you get? How much you are getting? 0. How much you got? 4. 0.564. So what you need to do? 4.351 minus 0.564. So for the year 8, you got 3.788 as the opening written down value. Then on that 3.788, you multiply with 12.95%, 0.491. 0.491. Then what you do is, from 3.788, you reduce 0.491. That and all makes it to 3.297. That and all makes it to 3.297. On that 3.297, you multiply with 12.95%. 0.427. Again you reduce from 3.297, that 0.427, that and all makes it to 2.870, and on that you calculate 12.95%, that and all makes it to 0.372. Friends, sum total of the total depreciation for 10 years, of course, let us put it, instead of calculating that, you can make a cross verification later, 7.502. 7.502 is what the total depreciation you got. That is what expected also. How come? Because that formula which you did, ultimately what is it? Entire cost less residual value is the amount of total depreciation to be charged off against the useful life of the asset. Any methodology of depreciation, entire costless residual value should be spread over the different years of useful life. Under straight line method, it will be uniform. Under the written down value method, it will be going on reducing. That is what we find. Then now what is the next point? What is the percentage of depreciation of every year to the total depreciation? That I have to calculate. Once I calculate that, in that proportion the government grant I can apportion over the different years. Right. In the next column, that is percentage of depreciation to total depreciation. One I will tell, rest I will tell the figures. How you are calculating? Operate your calculators. 1.295 divided by, first year depreciation is 1.295 divided by 7.502 into 100. Into 100. 1.295 is the first year depreciation. Total depreciation is 7.502. So how much you got? 1.295 divided by 7.502 into 100. How much you are getting? Like that, 17.26. Even for the second year also I will tell you. 1.127 divided by 7.502 into 100. How much? No, no, calculate properly. 1.127 divided by 7.502, 15.02. Like that, third year 13.08, please write down. Third year 13.08, fourth year 11.38, fifth year 9.92, sixth year 8.62, seventh year 7.52, eighth year 6.54, ninth year 5.69, 10th year 4.96. Now you got the percentage of depreciation to the total depreciation every year. Now what do you do? What is your government grant part? 8. That 8 in this proportion you apportion. So first year how much of the grant should be transferred from deferred revenue to the profit and loss account? Take it. 8 into 17.26. Just make a calculation. 8 into 17.26%. 8 into 17.26%. How much? 1.3808. Second year you do 8 into 15.02%. 1.2016. Of course, from the third year onwards, you please write and then cross verify. 1.0464. 1.0464. Then the next year, that is the fourth year, 0.9104. And in the fifth year, 0.7936. Sixth year 0.6896, seventh year 0.6016, next what is the year we completed? Seventh year we completed. Eighth year 0.5232, ninth year 0.4552, 10th year 0.3968, total is 7.9992, approximately 8 lakhs. So successfully we completed the fourth problem, and what we learned in the fourth problem, a concept in the AS 12, government grant in respect of depreciable fixed assets. Of course, we also studied how to calculate the depreciation under the written down value method when cost, residual value and useful life is given, that percentage of depreciation how to calculate. Afterwards, what we did, how for each year amount of grant to be transferred to the P&L account is to be ascertained. For that, what we did, first we calculated the depreciation for each year, then we calculated each year depreciation as a percentage of total depreciation. In that proportion, we apportioned the government grant. Now I am moving to the problem number 5. X Limited acquired a machine on 1/1/2001 for $170 US, $170,000 US, and exchange rate on 1/1/2001 is what? $1 is equal to 12.10 rupees, 12.10. The company paid $80,000 on 1/7/2001 when the dollar rate is $1 is equal to rupees 12.9. $40,000 it paid when on 1/9/2001, at the rate of 13 point when $1 is 13.10, and on 31/7/2002 it paid how much? $50,000 when $1 is equal to 15.10. Totally how much is the payment? 80 plus 40, 120, 120 plus 50, 170. So the next moment it purchased, it has not paid. After 6 months it paid $80, and by the time of the 9th month it paid one more $40, and next year, that is 31/7/2002, it paid $50,000. This analysis is required for you to do the problem, friends. The company originally estimated 20 years of life of the machine and residual value is nil. They followed straight line method of depreciation for the year 2001 and 2002 and switched over to written down value thereafter when they estimated rupees 5,20,000 as the scrap value of the machine, and in 2004 the useful life of the machine was revised as 25 years. In 2004 the machine was revalued 20% upward. Find out the value of the machine at which it should appear at the balance sheet date as on 31/12/2004. Take $1 is equal to 13.2 on 31/12/2004. How many issues are there? First try to understand. When there is a change in the method of accounting for depreciation, how do you account for such a change? That is the one point. Second, whenever there is a change in the useful life of the asset, how do you account for such situation with reference to the calculation of depreciation? Third issue is what? Whenever there is a change in the value of the asset, how do you go about in calculation of depreciation? That means this problem will make us to revise what? Entire accounting standard 6. Because accounting standard 6, there are 4 issues. One is when there is a change in the method of accounting, when there is a change in the useful life of the asset, when there is a change in the value of the asset, how do you account for is clearly given by the accounting standard 6. Then you have accounting standard 11. Of course, accounting standard 11 revised says that any exchange fluctuation, consequential exchange loss and consequential increase in the loan liability, that exchange loss should not be capitalized and it should be charged off to the P&L. But since it is a company, till such time schedule 6 gets amended to this extent, we will go with the old AS11 only, wherein it is stated that increase in the loan liability due to exchange fluctuations need to be capitalized. So these many issues are there. Yes, write down the approach. Write down the approach. Point number 1. As per the revised AS11, as per the revised AS11, the effect of change, in foreign exchange rate, in foreign exchange rate, make this as a side heading and write the exchange difference, the exchange difference in respect of outstanding, in respect of outstanding, comma, unpaid foreign exchange liability, unpaid foreign exchange liability incurred for the acquisition of fixed assets, incurred for the acquisition of the fixed asset should not be capitalized, should not be capitalized. However, in case of joint stock companies, or in case of joint stock companies, the exchange difference is to be capitalized, till Schedule 6 is revised, till Schedule 6 is revised. Then friends, next point, change in the method of depreciation, change in the method of depreciation. How do you go about this? Write down. As per AS6, when the company changes the method of depreciation, it should recalculate the depreciation, using the new method, as if the new method is in existence, right from the beginning, then we should calculate the difference between, depreciation under new method, and depreciation under old methods. And accordingly, the difference is to be either debited / credited to profit and loss account. Entry: profit and loss account related to fixed assets. Being excess depreciation accounted for. Excess depreciation means what, friends? That is, depreciation under new method is more, old method is less. So further depreciation, you debit the P&L account and reduce the asset value. How do you reduce the asset value? Credit the fixed assets. Second entry is fixed asset account dated to P&L account. being the reduction in the depreciation accounted for, being the reduction in depreciation accounted for. With reduction in the depreciation, what will happen, friends? Asset value will get increased, so you debited the asset and that results in profit, so you created the P&L. But in any case, one point that should go into your mind is already charged depreciation should neither be increased nor be decreased. The increase or decrease, the effect must be made only through the fixed asset and the P&L account. Then you accounted for change in the method of accounting. Next, one more point. Accounting for depreciation when there is a revision in the useful life. Accounting for depreciation when there is a revision in the useful life of the assets. Useful life of the assets. What your AS6 says? As per AS6, depreciation is equal to unamortized value divided by revised useful life. Revised useful life. Of course, friends, once this is a straight line method like this, written down value method means what? 1 minus nth root of cost minus residual value divided by that formula which you have is the one which you learned in the previous problem also. 1 minus nth root of residual value divided by the historical cost, but here in the place of historical cost you will have what? The unamortized portion. But now the point here is, point that we want to convey is, once there is a revision in the useful life, the unamortized portion must be amortized over the revised useful life. Then one more important thing. Next point. When there is a change in the or a revision in the, whenever there is a change, whenever there is a revision in the useful life of the asset, when there is a change in the value of the asset, when there is a change in the value of the asset on account of revaluation, then what you need to do, friends? There also depreciation is equal to revalued amount divided by remaining useful life. That is to say what? That revalued amount must be amortized over the remaining useful life of the assets. So once you have a due understanding of this, we can very well proceed the things. Ultimate travel is up to what? By 31st March 2004, what is the written down value we have to calculate? Right? By 31st March, what is the value we have to calculate? First, working notes number 1. Working notes number 1. Ascertainment of cost of the assets. Cost of the assets. As on 31/12/01. As on 31/12/01. First, cost of the machinery as on 1101, as on 1101, inner column you write 170 into 12.10, 170 into 12.10. How much it works out, friends? 170 into 12.10, correct, 2057. Add exchange loss, add exchange loss. By 1/7/2001, how much you paid? 80,000 you paid. So what you write? 80,000 into brackets. When you paid, what is the exchange rate? 12.90. When you purchased, what is the exchange rate? 12.10. So 80,000 into brackets 12.90 minus 12.10. So totally 80,000 into 0.80 is what? 80,000 into 0.8 is how much? 64. So 64,000, but you should write 64. Because earlier you made what? 170 into 12.10. So now 80 into 0.80 is 64. Then 1901. 1901. How much it is? 40 into when you paid, what is it? 13.10 minus 12.10. 13.10 minus 12.10. How much it is? 40. Then on 31/12/2001, on 31/12/2001, unpaid liability, on unpaid liability, what is the exchange loss? Remaining, how much is to be paid? 80 plus 40 is 120, total is 170, 170 minus 120 is 50. 50 into 13.20 minus 12.10. 13.20 minus 12.10. That and all makes it to what, friends? 55. 55. Isn't it or not? Yes. So you make an addition of all that, what you got to the 2057, you add 64, you add 40, you add 55. 2216. All of you are able to get the point? By 31/12/01, on the unpaid liability also exchange loss is what we have calculated. Not only on paid amounts, even on unpaid amount also exchange loss we calculated. That exchange loss, how you calculated? Year-end exchange rate minus acquisition time, what is the exchange rate? That difference I am treating it as an increase in the loan liability. Consequential exchange loss, I am adding it to the cost of the assets. So totally how much you got? 2216. What is this 2216, friends? Cost of the asset as on 31/12/2001. Next working notes. Ascertainment of the written down value. Ascertainment of written down value as on 31/12/01. As on 31/12/01. For the year 2001, we are with what method, friends? SLM method only. In which year the method got changed to the written down value? In which year the method got changed to the written down value? 2003. That means even for 2002 also, I am with the straight line method only. So write the point. First, total cost 2216 less residual value nil. Then depreciable amount 2216. Then estimated useful life how much? 20 years. Method of depreciation. What is the method of depreciation, friends? Straight line methods. Then depreciation, inner column 2216 divided by 20. 2216 divided by 20. That and all makes it to what? 110.80. 110.80. Then written down value is equal to 2216 minus 110.80. That and all makes it to what? 2105.20. 2105.20. 2105.20. Then next point is ascertainment of written down value as on 31/12/2002 before depreciation. Why like this we are supposed to do? Because we have exchange loss concept. That is the reason why first we will do that, then we will calculate the depreciation. What is it? Now write written down value as on 1102. Written down value as on 1102. How much it is, friends? 2105.20. 2105.20. Add exchange loss to be capitalized. 50 into brackets 15.1 minus 13.2. 15.1 minus 13.2. What is that 15.1, friends? When he paid that 50,000, on 31/7/2002. At that point of time, the exchange rate is 15.10. So that and all makes it to how much? 95. So you add it. What is this? 2105.20 plus 95. That means 2200.20. 2200.2. Now what you need to do? Less depreciation for 2002. How you calculate depreciation under straight line method, friends? What is the remaining or what is the unamortized portion divided by remaining useful life? That is 2200.2 divided by 19. How come 19, friends? Originally when it is purchased 20 years, 1 year is over, so the remaining useful life is 19 years. So divided by 19 will give you what? 115.80. So balance represents what, friends? Against that balance you write written down value of the assets, written down value of the assets as on 31/12/2002 after depreciation. After depreciation. Right. Now I need to move to 2003. But when I am moving to the 2003, what is that I have to do, friends? What is that I have to do means, in 2003, there is a change in the method of depreciation. And because of that change, what will happen? Because of that change, I have to recalculate the depreciation under the new methods. In 2003, they decided as what? Instead of straight line method, let us go to the what you call written down value methods. With the written down value method, what is the problem for us? If they don't specify the rate of depreciation, we have to calculate the rate of depreciation. Again, the rate of depreciation is 1 minus nth root of residual value divided by historical costs. So, write down, in the year 2003, there is a change in the method of depreciation. There is a change in the method of depreciation. Accordingly, method got changed from straight line method to written down value methods. Thus, first we need to calculate. Thus, first we need to calculate the rate of depreciation. The rate of depreciation. How do you calculate the rate of depreciation? First, ascertainment of rate of depreciation for 2001. Ascertainment of rate of depreciation for 2001. That is 1 minus nth root of residual value divided by historical costs. That is 1 minus 520 divided by, what is 520, friends? What is 520? It is stated that 5,20,000 as a scrap value of the machine. In the problem, if you see, 520 divided by, what is historical cost for the first year? 2216. Already earlier you calculated, friends. 2216 whole power of 1 by 20. Whole power of 1 by 20. So 1 minus 520 divided by 226 whole power of 1 by 20. That is 1 minus 0.93. 1 minus 0.93, that is equal to 7%. That is equal to 7%. So what you do? Next point is depreciation for the year 2001 depreciation for the year 2001 under written down value method, 7% of 2216, 7% of 2216, that and all makes it to 155.12. That is nothing but the 155.12. Keep it like that. Then what you do? Next point is ascertainment of the rate of depreciation per year 2, for year 2002. How you calculate that, friends? 1 minus brackets 520 divided by 2216 minus 155.12, because that is first year depreciation, whole power of 1 by 19, whole power of 1 by 19. What is the 2? How much you got in the denominator? How much you got? Calculate carefully. What is it? From what you reduce to what? From what you 2216 minus? It is not 2216, because you have got what? There is a exchange fluctuation. There is an exchange fluctuation. So there it is not 2216. You have to take there how much? 2155. 2155. How you got 2155? That is, just make a small note of it. How you are doing it means, just a small note below that you write. Or cost as at the beginning, 2216 less depreciation for the first year, under the written down value method, how much it is? 155.12, add exchange loss, in the 2002, 95, totally makes it to how much, friends? Just make a calculation and tell me how much you are getting. Correct, 2155.88. So there you simply take it as, how do you calculate the rate of depreciation? 1 minus 520 divided by 2155.88, like that you take 2155.88 whole power of 1 by 19. So that and all gives you how much percentage? 1 minus 0.9278. 1 minus 0.9278. Thereby that gives you 7.21%. 7.21%. And 21%. So you calculate depreciation for the second year depreciation for the second year under written down value method, under written down value method, 2155.88 into 2155.88 into 7.21%. 7.21%. That and all makes it to 155.44. 155.44. Right. The next working notes will be ascertainment of retrospective effects. Ascertainment of retrospective effects due to change in the method of depreciation. Due to change in the method of depreciation. How do you do that? 3 columns you write: particulars, SLM methods, written down value methods. That is, first depreciation for 2001, depreciation for 2001 under SLM method 110.80, under SLM method 110.80, under written down value method 155.12. Then depreciation for the year 2002, depreciation for the year 2002, that is 115.80, and under the written down value method 155.44. So sum total under SLM method is what? 226.60, whereas under the written down value method, what is it? 310.56. 310.56. Then what you do? Net effect in depreciation, net effect in depreciation due to change in the method of depreciation, due to change in the method of depreciation, how much it is? 83.96. How you got that 83.96? 83.96 you got by the difference of 310.56 minus 226.60. So what you do? You calculate for 1/1/2003. Write down ascertainment of cost, ascertainment of the written down value, ascertainment of the written down value for the for or as on 1/1/2003, as on 1/1/2003. What you do? Written down value under SLM, written down value under SLM 2084.4, 2084.4, under SLM what is it, friends? 2084.4. add depreciation provided for the first 2 years, under SLM 226.60 less depreciation under new method for the first 2 years, under new method for the first 2 years 310.56. Thereby it makes it to what, friends? How much it is coming to? First calculate that. Do it carefully, because ultimately cross verification has to happen. 21. What you did? No, how you calculated. I am only asking you one addition and one deduction. See, written down value under straight line method by 31/12/02 is how much? 2084.4. So, you added back this and reduced the new method. So, how much you got? 2000.44. Okay. In the year 3, what happened, friends? In the problem you just look at, in the year 3, in 2003, what are all the activities that happened? That is, again to read the problem, X Limited acquired a machine on 1/1/2001 for $170,000 and the company paid $80,000 on 1/7/2001 and $40,000 on 1/9/2001 and $50,000 on 31/7/2002. The exchange rate on 31/12/01 stabilized at $1 is equal to 12.10. Company originally estimated 20 years of the life of the machine and residual value as nil. They followed straight line method of depreciation in 2001 and 2002 and switched over to the written down value method thereafter when they estimated rupees 5,20,000 as the scrap value of the machine. In 2004, the useful life of the machine was revised to 25 years. So, now the point here is for 2003 there is no disturbance. As it is, you can calculate the depreciation. Write down. Ascertainment of written down value asset 31/12/2004. Asset 31/12/2004. 31/12/2003. 31/12/2003. Just now you calculated written down value as on 1/1/2003. Written down value as on 1/1/2003. How much you got? 2000. Exactly. Now I am asking you, what is the written down value as on 1/1/2003? Less your depreciation. How do you calculate your depreciation for 2003? It is a 7.21%. First, how do you calculate that 7.21%? You just do that. Or what is the 2002? 2003, how to calculate that depreciation percentage? How do you calculate that depreciation percentage is the point. That is the same 7.21% because there is no change in this thing. So, less depreciation for 2003, 7.21 into what is that written down value at the beginning? 2000.44. That and all works out to be how much? 144.23. 144.23. So that and all gives you what? Written down value as on 31/12/03 as 1856.21. 1856.21. Then last year, what is it? For the year 2004, write that for the year 2004. For the year 2004, what happened, friends? First, there is an upward revaluation. Write down the point. Written down value as on 1104, 1856.21, 1856.21. Add upward revaluation at the rate of 20%. At the rate of 20%. Calculate 1856.21 into 20%. 371.24. 371.24. So that what will be the value? 2227.45. Now, rate of depreciation for 2004. Rate of depreciation for 2004. Friends, in 2004 they revised the useful life to 25 years. Already how many years are over? 3 years are over. So, remaining useful life is what? 22 years. So, 1 minus brackets 520 divided by 2227.45 whole power of 1 by 22. Whole power of 1 by 22, that is equal to 1 minus 0.936. Of course, how that 0.936? You just make use of your mathematics knowledge. So that and all gives you 6.4%. Now what you do? First, that is written down value after the revaluation. Written down value after the revaluation. What is it, friends? 2227.45 less depreciation for 2004. Less depreciation for 2004. 2227.45 into 6.4%. Into 6.4%. What is it? 142.56. So that what will be the value of the machine? Value of the machine is 2084.89. 2084.89.